These are MCU movies and TV shows that I desperately need Marvel to make. First of all, we need to give Thor a fifth and final send-off film in the MCU. This is one of the only remaining Avengers in the MCU, just right alongside Hulk, and I guess if you count Hawkeye, even though he really is retired, and I cannot have Thor be going out on Thor Love and Thunder, because that movie was just not very good. I know the popular take is that everybody wants a way more serious and almost Logan-style send-off for Thor in this fifth movie if we do end up getting one, and honestly, I would be down for that, but I don't think it's a necessity because honestly, the humor is a huge part of what made this character work. They just went way too far with it in Thor Love and Thunder and the humor wasn't funny. But I feel like you don't have to overcorrect and go super serious because we see that not working with the character too, like Thor the Dark World. They did go that way more serious route. George Miller, who's the director of the Mad Max movies and obviously most recently Furiosa, literally came out and said that he would work with Chris Hemsworth on anything when asked if he would be open to directing Thor 5. This would be incredible. But there's really just such an incredible amount of lore for this character and mythology surrounding him that I feel like it would be a shame to not get back into the Thor movies and give us one more journey with him. It does seem like the MCU is open to returning to more Thor movies since obviously Thor Love and Thunder had the post-credit scene where Brett Goldstein is playing Hercules, so obviously that's setting up that we are going to see Thor again. I just hope it happens sometime soon and not like 5 years down the road, but that could honestly be cool too. Next is I desperately hope we finally get to see a Mark Ruffalo solo Hulk movie or kind of a Hulk team-up movie. No matter what they do, World War Hulk, Immortal Hulk, I need to see this in my lifetime. And I know what you're gonna say, there's been the rights issues with Universal and we don't really know what the status of that is. Every article just says we don't really know what happened in 2023 if Marvel has the full rights now or not. But we did see the Incredible Hulk that was a Universal movie get put on Disney Plus, so it seems like there's some relationship there. And also we've seen Disney just spend infinite money on so many other things. You're telling me they couldn't get the rights for this if they really wanted to? Like, I'm gonna expose my Ung status here, but I remember when I was a kid pre-MCU and in the very early days of the MCU, the Marvel big three wasn't like Iron Man, Cap, and Thor. No, it was Spider-Man, Wolverine, and yes, Hulk, and he has been so underutilized because of this rights issue. Mark Ruffalo, I truly think, is great as both Bruce Banner and Hulk, and he's had so many great moments in the MCU, but they're always so few and far between, and even in other things that he's shown up in like She-Hulk, he's not really that great because he has nothing to do and gets sent off again. I'm tired of this character getting sent off on random journeys or into space. I want him to have his own solo movie and fully explore this great character. Next up on my list is Moon Knight Season 2. I might be alone on this, but I still love this show. I think Season 1 was really great. No, it's not perfect. There's lots of different problems with it and ways to improve, but that's why I want a Season 2. The potential was there. It was still a really enjoyable season of television, and we can really build up this world so uniquely if we just dive into it. Oscar Isaac is so interesting. Building up this whole new mythology and side of the MCU that we've never seen was so interesting. I also really loved a lot of the fight scenes and choreography in this. It's something that we really need. I know Marvel has been saying they want to set up a Midnight Suns movie, and they've been trying to get Blade off the ground for like 5 years at this point, and yeah, Kevin Feige still says it's gonna happen. I honestly don't know if we're ever gonna see it though, even though I'd love to see Mahershala Ali's version of the character. It just has been in development hell for forever. But while we're waiting to set up all those other pieces, why not give us another season of Moon Knight? Kevin Feige literally just did an interview and he was talking about renewing more TV shows and giving them more seasons instead of them being like these limited time series. And he also confirmed that Daredevil Born Again is gonna start filming its second season right in the spring when the first season releases. Please, Kevin Feige, hear my prayers. Give us a Moon Knight Season 2. Oscar Isaac was so incredible in this role. Now we have Jake Lockley set up. I need to see more of it. I can't believe this movie is on this list because honestly, it should be confirmed and have a release date like within the next year, but somehow we don't have any news about a Shang-Chi 2, and we desperately need this. I was not as high on the first Shang-Chi as a lot of other people, but I still think it's a really good film. First movie had some of the best fight choreography we've ever seen in the MCU. Lots of really fun camera work as well, and Simu Liu was an absolute blast as this character, and all roads are pointing to him being a big part of the next Avengers team, and we literally are not going to see this guy again probably until Avengers Doomsday or Secret Wars. That's insane. I hope this is something Marvel's just being quiet about and they're going to release like early in like February of 2026 before we get the next Avengers film, because honestly we need to see more of this character to get more of the general audience invested in him. There's some good news and bad news when you talk about the director of this movie, Destin Daniel Cretton, because yeah, he is now the director for Spider-Man 4 releasing in 2026. Like I said, I really liked his directorial style in this movie. A lot of the camera work is super fun, and I think he's going to bring a lot of life to Spider-Man 4 in the MCU, but this is also telling me they have no current plans chance of doing a Shang-Chi 2, or they're going to bring in a new director. And I'm not going to lie, I think that would be a major mistake because, like I said, his style works so perfectly with his character. Another show that I really hope gets renewed for a second season is Hawkeye. I thought the first season was a ton of fun. I love the Christmas atmosphere. I think the dynamic between Clint and Kate was a ton of fun. It had really great side characters like Echo. Even though I don't like her show at all, she was great in this series. And now with the ending of the first season of Hawkeye, she has become the new Hawkeye. So give us a second season focusing all around Kate Bishop, building her up for the future of the street level side of the MCU. Apparently they're still trying to build up to the Young Avengers, which I honestly don't think we're ever going to see this movie, but if they are trying to do that, again, we got to see some more of these people in other projects. Honestly, instead of focusing on a Young Avengers movie, I think the better move is giving us a Hawkeye season 2 where you tie it in with like Daredevil Born Again and have crossovers between them and kind of build up this new street level universe in the TV side of things, and then focus on the more cosmic things and multiversal events in the films. I think this is the best way to go about it, and plus we already know Kingpin is kind of the connecting tie between Hawkeye, Daredevil, hopefully Spider-Man in the future. I would love to see this. Doctor Strange 3 is something that we desperately need to see, and honestly, I want Sam Raimi coming back. I know a lot of people look at some of his transitions and the way he directs, and they don't really like it, but I absolutely adore it. He brings so much character to the MCU that is so desperately needed. So many films don't feel like they have a very unique directorial voice, but Sam Raimi, his kind of horror hybrid vibe he brought to Multiverse of Madness, I thought was incredible, and I can't wait to see what he can do with some of this new darkness that's happening. We've got incursions happening. We've got the new character of Clea, which is going to be absolutely insane to see what they can do with her. I want to see more Wong desperately because I'm going to lose my mind if I don't see Wong in an MCU project lately. Like, what are we doing, Marvel? Even though I don't think the second Doctor Strange film is quite as good as the first, they both have incredible visual effects, really creative fight scenes with stuff like the mirror dimension in the first film, and we got the stupid music note fight, which is actually dope. So much infinite potential when you're dealing with literal sorcerers here. Please give us a Doctor Strange 3 in the MCU. Again, I don't know why this hasn't already been greenlit and released before the next Avengers film, but whenever we get it, I'll take it. While I'm on the topic of sorcerers and wizards and dark magic, I need a Scarlet Witch solo movie. Listen, the demand is simply there. Agatha all along pulled in insane numbers, and that's a spin-off off of a Wanda show. And like half of the hype around that show and why people tuned in is because the first episode teased the dead body of Wanda, be like, oh, is she gonna come back? And surprisingly, they didn't bring her back in that show. That would have been the perfect way to do it, but that's fine. There's still other ways we can do this. Elizabeth Olsen has truly separated herself from a lot of the other actors in the MCU and shown that she is one of the best actors in the MCU. Her performance in every single film has been incredible, especially Multiverse of Madness as the villain. I really hope they lean into her villain role in the solo film personally. But we know the X-Men are coming after Secret Wars. We need the Scarlet Witch back. There's so much potential there. I know it wouldn't really make sense since she's been around before the X-Men, but they could retcon it somehow, connect her to Magneto, give us some absolutely insane movies. This is kind of the randomest one on the list, but I think a new Defenders type show, whether it's actually the Defenders again with these same people, because it seems like Jessica Jones is going to be back, we're going to get the Punisher, Daredevil, or like I was talking about earlier, maybe you throw in some other street level characters like a Kate Bishop or someone like that. Whatever it is, I think a new take on the Defenders could be something really cool to tie in this new Disney Plus universe that we have going on here instead of the Netflix universe. There's infinite potential though for the future of the MCU. I was pretty much limiting this to characters we already have seen in the MCU getting new projects or seasons. If you want a video where I go over comic characters that haven't even shown up in the MCU yet that need a project, let me know who in the comments below you want to see, and I'll make another part to this. And click down below to watch my playlist where I go over things that will ruin upcoming movies like Superman, Avengers, Doomsday, Spider-Man 4, and more. I'd really appreciate it.